Welcome, beautiful souls, to another episode of You Are the Universe. I'm your host, Victoria Haffer, with over 20 years of facilitating massive transformation for women just like you. And today we're diving into a deep and powerful topic. The truth will set you free. So I invite you to take a deep breath and ask yourself this. Where in my life have I not been truly honest? Am I truly truthful with myself and with others? What parts of my past, my habits, or my patterns am I in denial about? It's okay if nothing comes to mind just yet. Just stay with me. The truth is, so much of our dishonesty is hidden in the subconscious field, buried deep in the shadow self, where we just can't see it. Lying isn't always obvious. Sometimes we lie to ourselves without even realizing it. We tell ourselves we're fine when we're really not. We pretend we're happy in situations that drain us. We say we want love, success, or freedom, but sabotage at every corner. We justify staying in unhealthy, even toxic relationships and jobs that don't serve us. These hidden lies live in our shadows. I like to call it Pandora's box. The unconscious parts of ourselves that we've suppressed. But here's the freaking truth, sister. Every challenge you face in life, love, business, or money stems from one core issue. Can you guess what it is? Dishonesty and lack of integrity with yourself and maybe even others. And this is the core of why we ultimately don't trust ourselves. Every time we ignore our intuition, suppress our emotions, or pretend something is okay when it's not, we create inner conflict as well as an energetic blockage, which creates a lack of flow in a particular part of the body, also known as a chakra. Chakra in Sanskrit means wheel or vortex. So for those of you, again, I've done other podcasts on chakras. If you're hearing about it for the first time, check back at a later date and another podcast that I've done on the chakras. But basically, there's 7 major chakras in the body, and each chakra represents a different aspect of us physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So maybe it's your throat, your heart, or your sacral area that's blocked. We basically send a message to our subconscious mind that our truth isn't valid. Every time we ignore our intuition, every time we suppress our emotions or pretend something is okay, we just go along to get along. So it creates a block of energy within a specific area of the body. This is why we can't trust ourselves in making the right decisions. Again, this is if this resonates with you, right? Not everyone has trouble trusting themselves. And when this pattern is tied to addiction, it becomes even deeper. So addiction operates on the frequency, typically, of shame. And shame often lives in our second chakra, and that's right around the sacral area, the navel point area. Our ability to express our creativity, our sensuality, our sexuality is basically our creative flow in our life and our business. Creativity. The element is water. So again, think about that. The color is orange. So right around that belly button where, whether you've given birth or not, we all have that ability to create something. So again, whether it be a child or a book or a business, or anything else that, artwork, music. So this is, again, second chakra is often the area that needs a little extra love. And know that chakras, you can be excessive in a chakra or deficient in a chakra. So it can be overexpressed or underexpressed. So this is the question that sits here in this topic is, why are we dishonest in the first place? Why do we have such a hard time speaking our truth or being in our truth? And maybe you're okay with it now, but perhaps at a younger age you had trouble with it and you've forgotten it, or it's, left your conscious mind. So not speaking our truth is often a learned behavior, something we may have picked up as in childhood as a way to protect ourselves. Maybe you grew up in a home where speaking your truth wasn't safe or just wasn't done. Maybe you were punished for expressing your feelings, your true feelings, no matter what they were, whether it be anger or frustration or annoyance, or you didn't go along with, the group, the sheep. So you learn to suppress them. Maybe love and approval felt conditional for you, so you molded yourself into what and who others wanted you to be. Perhaps you watched your caregivers, your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, anybody that was older than you, your babysitters, right? That you spent a lot of time with, lie, and you knew they were lying, because as children, we, up to the age of 7, there's absolutely no filter, and we're so intuitive at that time. But we often, as we get older, we start to kind of suppress those intuitive gifts, as well. But you saw others lying around you to avoid conflict, to cover up addiction, or even just to survive. And even though, or they thought, well, you're young and so you can't handle the truth, right? So when we experience trauma or just don't get what we need as a young child on a consistent basis, our nervous system changes. It learns to protect us at all costs. And sometimes that protection looks like this: lying or fibbing to avoid pain or punishment, pretending to be okay when you're not, minimizing your own needs to keep the peace, people pleasing. That was in my last podcast. If you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend you check out that podcast on people pleasing, if that resonates with you. Hiding your true desires out of fear of rejection, right? Well, who's going to love me? Who's going to accept me for who I am if they knew how I really felt about XYZ? But here's the challenge. And I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. We don't always know that we're lying, especially to ourselves. Much of this operates, right, in the old programs, like Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about in The Biology of Belief. He talks about that our belief systems are like programs that run in your computer. So we download them, we accept them as, little girls and little boys, and then they just play over and over again. And they sit in the subconscious field, right? That's where trauma sits, fear and shame, as well as our suppressed gifts, are stored there as well. So the lies we tell ourselves become so deeply ingrained that they actually feel like our truth. I'm fine. This is just how I am. I don't, you don't feel like you deserve more. It's just, you got to work your ass off to make any money. All these things, right? There's so many. And really the beauty and the power comes in when you identify your belief systems, right? So these are what we call shadow beliefs, hidden programs running in the background that shape our reality. And the truth is, we create our reality through our thoughts, our words, and our actions. And it's said that we think like 50,000 thoughts a day, and more than half of them are not of the highest vibration. And more than most of them, we think the same thoughts every single day. So we're just playing in that loop, right? That subconscious loop of creating our reality. Take a moment. Just take a moment and sit with that. So let's talk a little bit about addiction, because addiction and dishonesty typically go hand in hand. And often people think, well, I don't have an addiction. I've done another podcast on this as well. There's lots of good stuff back there if you haven't checked them all out. But truly, addiction is really, as Tommy Rosen says that addiction is really any behavior that we consistently choose on a daily, regular basis that doesn't serve us, that contradicts us. So think about that. So it doesn't have to be alcohol and drugs. It doesn't have to be a substance. It's an energy. It's a frequency that we carry around when we're avoiding the truth, when we're avoiding something. And addiction is deeply connected to, once again, the second chakra, our sacral energy center, which governs our emotions, creativity, sensuality, and our sense of self-worth. So When the sacral chakra, the second chakra, is out of balance, we can feel unworthy, disconnected from our body and emotions, deeply ashamed of who we are or what we've done in the past. And ultimately, we're out of alignment with our own integrity, which is basically the opposite of being sovereign. One of my favorite words, sovereignty. It's really about trusting and knowing what is right for you, what is best for you, and not giving your power away, not handing your power over to a teacher, an authority figure, to your doctor, to your mother, to anybody. Right? You are a sovereign being. I am God. I am sovereign. I am free. I am goddess. I am sovereign. I am free. And so when this shame is present, we may act out in ways that don't align with our highest self. We may even lie, steal, or cheat, not because we want to, but because we are trapped in the frequency of shame and addiction. And we tell ourselves stories like, I don't have a problem. I could stop at any time. I'm fine. It's really not that bad. I have control over this, right? Does any of that resonate with you? But every time that we lie to ourselves, we deepen the cycle, and the lack of trust in yourself goes deeper. And every time we break a promise to ourselves, whether it's about money, business, health, or relationships, we reinforce the belief that we can't be trusted. This is why so many people struggle to follow through on their goals, New Year's resolutions, why they stay stuck in the patterns of procrastination, self-sabotage, or avoidance. The more we suppress the truth, the more we disconnect from self-trust. And the more we disconnect truly from ourselves, the harder it becomes to move forward in any area of our life. I hear people say all the time, I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling stuck. And often this is a huge reason why. Now, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Again, of course, if you're driving, just pause the podcast, this episode, and go back to it when you have a few minutes. It's a very short guided meditation. So if you can even pull over in the car, or if you're just at your computer or something, just pull away, unplug from the technology, and you can lay down or sit up nice and tall and close your eyes and take a few long, slow, deep breaths, giving yourself permission to pause in this moment. Just feel the breath breathing into the energy of all of this. Maybe it brought up some stuff for you, so that's okay. Just being with it. Learning how to be with our emotions is a very powerful superpower to have. Doesn't have to be so hard. And so with each inhalation, imagine you're drawing in golden healing light into the body. And with each exhalation, imagine letting go of old patterns, old thoughts, negative self-talk, right? Programming, old stories. Just imagine it floating away. You could even visualize a balloon. That could be very good. Just imagine, visualize, see or feel a small balloon in front of you, and you're breathing into it. So inhale deeply. And then with each exhale, imagine you're breathing into the balloon, it's getting larger. And with each exhale that you make, you're blowing into the balloon those old thoughts, negative self-talk, belief systems, micro traumas or macro traumas, any old relationships that you want to let go of, detach from. And just keep breathing. And every exhale that you make, again, just imagine you're filling up with that lower frequency energy of the stuff that you've been holding on to since you were a little girl or a little boy, right? Just letting it go, breathing into that balloon. Just keep deeper breathing. And it doesn't even have to be things you remember, but things may come up for you as you sit in this meditation. And give yourself permission to just let it go. So continue a few more long, slow, deep breaths. With each breath that you take, feeling lighter and lighter. And with each breath that you take, imagine a golden light filling your entire body, connecting to every cell, every fiber, every nerve ending of your being, clearing out any stuck, stagnant energy sitting in the body, in your energy centers, your chakras, your nadis, your meridians, your glands, organs, systems in the body, every cell, trillions of organisms and cells in the body. And then one more long, slow, deep breath. And on your final exhale, releasing any energy of shame, guilt, fear, or regret, sending it all into the balloon. And now bring to mind something you've been holding on to. Maybe it's a habit, a financial fear, a worry, a business struggle, a relationship wound, or an addiction that you're ready to let go of. And blow that with full force into that balloon. Acknowledge it, honor it, and with your final breath, release it into the balloon. And whenever you're ready to let all that stuff go, just let the balloon, tie the balloon off, and then let the balloon go. And watch that balloon with all of your worries, concerns, old traumas and wounds, past relationships that don't serve you anymore, just floating off. And just keep watching it. Keep watching it. Keep watching it. Approaching the horizon and keep watching it. Just keep watching that balloon float away, floating away so easy, with so little effort, right? Effortlessly. Just let it go. And as you watch that balloon go over the horizon, feeling yourself becoming lighter and freer and more hopeful and more open, until you can no longer see that balloon anymore. It's gone. Take one final deep breath in. And as you exhale, affirm out loud if possible, I trust myself. I am truth. I am free. Again, I trust myself. I am truth. I am free. I trust myself. I am truth. I am free. I am goddess. I am God. Whatever word you use, I am the universe. I am spirit. I am sovereign. I am free. And then whenever it feels right, you may open your eyes, gently open your eyes, return back to this earth plane. And if you have a pen handy, and again, you can pause here again, I'm just going to invite you to dive into some journaling prompts if you'd like. Where are you not standing in your truth? Where are you giving away your sovereignty, your power? And what part of me still believes I need to hide to be loved, accepted, or protected? And this typically is tied to the witch wound. That'll be a future podcast episode, so stay tuned to that. So take some time. I invite you to take some time to be introspective. It can be quite powerful, right? To dive in and to really get some insights around some of these journaling prompts. And if you find it hard to do this on your own, I mean, this is what I'm here for, right? If you need support, reach out. Let's work together. I'd be honored to support you. I'm not working with doing much privates these days, but if your soul is called to work with me, reach out and let's get on a call. So as always, it's an honor and a pleasure to share this sacred space with you. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your reflections. And if you're not already connected with me on the socials, you can find me on all of them. It'd be great if you want to click the subscribe button and share with anyone that you think might be helped by this session. And remember, you were put on this planet for a very important reason. It's your time to fly, sister. Remember your wings.